hour.
I've never been one to worry too much about appearances.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. You want the whole world to see what a good-looking guy, right? Aren't you a retired porn star in addition to some other things?
No, actually, no.
All right.
I'm not.
By the way, what we're referring to here is we're on StreamYard. If you'd like to check out audio and video of this program, just go to yourfortdodge.com or AM1400 KBFD. Yeah, this is my phone making that noise. Sorry.
We should extend your warranty.
All right. Okay.
Tell them you agree with it. You got your health care. You got your extended warranty. I had an extended warranty call yesterday from somebody here in town.
Oh, really?
And I don't know who to answer anymore because, I obviously being in the political arena and people can call me and I don't know where they get my number from, but when they call, I have to respond and I get a lot of calls that are not necessarily necessary for me to respond to. Yesterday was an extended warranty call, so that was good. Well, I just want to let you know we did have the primary yesterday. I hope everybody could find their polling.
I was going to say we're a little confused there, weren't we?
The polling stations were not exactly well clarified. The paper didn't have them in there, and the county auditor kicked over to the state auditor. And when I put my address in, they sent me to Friendship Haven. Kelly Heineman was kind enough to tell us that, no, you can't come out here because we don't want COVID at Friendship Haven.
Friendship Haven. Well, that makes sense.
And so then somebody else commented.
What was Kelly doing out there? Is he a resident or something?
No. Kelly works out there. He's been out there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been there since he retired from the highway patrol.
What does he do out there?
Good question. I think he's got a title of some kind. I know he wears a suit and a tie. And I think he takes care of like maintenance and odd jobs and things like that. He supervises whatever a supervisor does.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No one seems to know.
Yeah. So anyway, they moved my polling station was moved over to Prairie Creek Church, as we talked about.
Oh, Prairie Creek Church.
Yeah. Okay. Right across from the housing at the school there at the college. But the bad thing about that, of course, is you got numerous people at Friendship Haven that don't leave the campus because of the COVID thing, because I don't know if they have to be screened when they come back, if they even let them leave. But I think part of the reason the vote was down quite a bit yesterday was because a lot of people, first off, they couldn't find their polling stations, and second off, they Friendship Haven in particular was kind of out of the loop, I think, which is really too bad that we couldn't have accommodated them. I guess they could have got absentee ballots, but
we've been talking all week on these radio stations to go vote, and
nobody knows where to go.
We should have included if you know where you're supposed to go. Well, who screwed that up? Was that Angie over the courthouse?
Well, I don't know. Angie? I don't know. I think according to the
I bet it was Campbell. Oh, there we go.
All the information from the county auditor was sent to the state, and so the state blames the county auditor, and I'm sure
of course
there's probably people pointing fingers all over the place. But it was a little bit. I hope they get that straightened out before the election.
Anytime you get the state involved, they're going to screw things up because they can always point to the local people. It's Angie's fault. Well, Angie's been doing her job for quite a long time, and who the hell are you, state dude?
But there were some issues, but again,
there were issues.
Congratulate those that move forward. It's going to be an interesting election season. They are having a forum on Thursday night out at Iowa Central, starting at 6:00. So
at Iowa Central?
Yep. At the biohealth building.
Bioscience building?
Bioscience, yeah, that's where it's at.
Did you have a stroke a little earlier this week?
I could have. It's been a rough week for me.
You seem a little confused.
Yeah. But anyway, 6:00 on Thursday, you'll be able to write questions out and they will present them to the candidates. The candidates will be the at-large candidates, the four of them, Brooke Bickford and Richard Higgins, Quinnell McCaleb, and Lydia Schur. And then Kim will be up front, Kim Allstott, and Gregory, I think it's Goebbels.
I don't know them as I have not had the pleasure of meeting. I do know Kim.
Yeah, you do know Kim. Yeah. So anyway, those people will be up front. I'm sure the other people will be there. I plan on being there. I'm sure Cameron will be there from Ward 2. Mayor Matt will probably show up. And then Mr. Flattery is also running unopposed. So you'll probably have everybody there. But I think the emphasis is going to be on those in contested elections. So it'll be the at-large and the Ward 4 people that will be up front taking the heat. So think of some good questions and ask them. One thing I did want to touch on, I noticed in the paper and a couple of the candidates had talked about the water bill, and it seems to be a lot of confusion over the water bill. The actual water bill itself is only about maybe a third or less of what your water bill is. And I brought proof of that. We do have the community sewer initiative on there. We also have storm sewer on there. We also have the $7.50 for the reverse osmosis plant that just kicked in. So there's a lot of things. And so these kind of peripheral charges that are put on your water bill for convenience, just to allow us to send one bill out for all the services, it's confusing to people when they look at the bill and they say, geez, I'm spending $90 a month on my water. And that's not true. You're only spending about $15 to $20 a month on your water, and the rest of it's all these other fees. And those fees, those fees though are all paid.
And by the way, we charge you for a car warranty.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a used car salesman. That's one thing I always emphasize during this broadband discussion is that please send out a separate bill, because we don't want to add it to the water bill, even though it'd be more convenient. It's just, it's confusing to people when they see these big bills. But when you talk about doing something with the water bill, you really don't have much flexibility, because like the community sewer initiative is it's like a 20-year payback on some money that we borrowed at 1% from the state. Reverse osmosis, that was a $19 million project, and we're paying that back with your $7.50 each month on your bill. So you're not going to eliminate those components of the water bill. And so when you talk about the water bill, it's very difficult to change what's already in place. You're not going to be able to alter that a great deal. So yeah, I guess it's good political talk when you say that the water bill is too high, but the fact is that there's other things other than just for the water that's on there, and things that are
one of the candidates complained about water, and here you are defending the city.
No,
which candidate was it?
I'm pointing out the fact that you can't do
which
anything.
Candidate said something about the water bill?
Well, I think Brooke Bickford said something about it, and Richard Higgins said something about it.
Richard Higgins.
Yeah, but again, you can't.
This is a takedown of poor Richard?
No, you can't.
Because Brooke can come in here and beat the hell right out of you.
Yeah, I don't know Brooke Bickford. But anyway, I'm just telling you.
She used to take taekwondo when she was like 9 years old.
That's fine. But that's what I'm just saying, though. There isn't anything there that you can really alter in the water bill. We've got planned increases due to U.S. Waters takes care of the management of the water plant for us.
Mm-hmm.
We've got planned increases. Those have all been laid out over the last few years. It's like a 1.5% increase, and that covers their expenses. So when you talk about altering the water bill, again, we're paying back loans that we've taken out. And everybody in the city, there's about 10,000 people that have water in Fort Dodge. There's some people that live in houses without water, but they're not supposed to. But if you do get water bill, then you're paying for streets, sewers, and water, all in the same bill.
Yeah.
Making it easy for you.
The things you do for us.
Yep, that's right. I try to make it better for you.
You are happiest when you think of others.
Yep, that's true.
I'm so happy.
But anyway, I just, it's just frustrating, because we've had this discussion before, and there just isn't a lot of flexibility. The water bill is high, but it's high for a reason. It's because we paid for we had that $80 million that they identified in sewer and water work, and we've done a lot of work on the south side of town, which results in new roads and new infrastructure, and we've eliminated virtually all the pumps that we used to pump out of the sanitary sewer, actually, that was being dumped into the storm sewers, which isn't the way it's supposed to be done. And then you've got the reverse.
What is the way it's supposed to be done?
Well, theoretically, the sanitary sewer goes to the sanitary plant where it's processed and then released into the river. When you dump raw sewage from a sewer overflow, if you get 2 inches of rain and you're suddenly overflowing, and you're getting in people's basements, which we don't have that problem now, because we pretty well eliminated that with all the work we've done. But, if it goes directly into the river without being treated, then we run into violations from the DNR, and we're subject to fines. So we don't want that.
No, I don't think you do.
No,
but I do like the fact you came over with an agenda today.
No, I didn't.
You've injected yourself into the election. I like it.
I got my water bill. That's how come
you brought your water bill?
Yeah, it came to my attention
at
when
your
I paid
home.
my water bill. No, this is at the office.
No, Boy, it can't be that much at the office, can it?
$90. But I
$90 that much.
I don't have garbage on my water bill either, but you
Right.
have garbage on your regular bill. But yeah,
Well, that's kind of high for an office building
well,
like yours.
I have stormwater, so many square feet of asphalt or concrete. They come in and do a calculation, and I have to pay stormwater because the water isn't absorbed into my luscious green lawn because I don't have one at the office.
That's right, you don't.
Yeah, so they charge like Walmart, Target, Hy-Vee, any place with a lot of asphalt has to pay a stormwater fee, and it's so much per square foot.
A stormwater fee
Yep.
for a place where
That doesn't-
stormwater doesn't harm at all.
No, stormwater runs off. And the
All
problem
right.
with stormwater is you got to have a place for it to go so that it gets out of the,
Gets out in front of your office.
Yeah, gets out of in front of my office. Doesn't flood my office. Doesn't flood the street. So we pay basically for the fact that we don't absorb it into the ground like everybody else does.
Okay.
That's just the price. Of
But we still get charged as well.
Most of residences don't get a stormwater fee. I don't believe.
Really?
No.
I don't know.
Bring your water bill in. We'll look at it.
Well, I just sent it in.
You need to do like
I
did.
have gone through it pretty much.
Yeah, you
on
accumulate
a number
paper.
of it.
Yeah.
I do this for a living. I should.
You do?
Yes, I
Did you start?
do this thing for a living. No, I didn't. I'm coming up on my 13th year doing this.
Oh,
You
yeah?
believe that?
Well, happy whatever. What is this? The wood one then? You get a wood reward for today
If I could get some wood, that would be great.
for a variety of things.
For a variety of
Yeah.
reasons. That's right.
But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. I know it's going to be brought up on Thursday as a something that people are passionate about, and everybody thinks they're getting screwed, but in reality, all we're doing is paying back for the
We're
work.
just hosing you a little bit. Huh?
No, we're getting back what we have to pay back the state for the SRF money, state revolving fund money.
State revolving fund money.
Yep, we've done a lot of work with that. It's been a great program for us. And again, you got to thank the engineering people for looking into these programs and doing the work that they're doing. We've identified projects down the road for several years, and just like our bridges and our streets, everything's been kind of identified. We know what we're going to do, and we know when we're going to do it. We just have to kind of get the funding straightened out. And so the big process is, and the city council is try to put the available money with the available projects and then try to coordinate those so that you make the biggest impact with what you got.
Sure.
More bang for the buck.
More bang for the buck. So we're banging over here after all.
We are banging, yeah. Which I want to congratulate, the city, Main Street. They did get another $500,000 from the state for a facade program downtown. That'll be a continuation of the project that they did between 10th and 11th, and it's part of 12th. I guess 10th and 11th was primarily it. But it's a coordinated effort between the city and Main Street and the business owners to renovate, restore, and I guess make the front of their buildings look a lot better, kind of clean them up. And they're actually addressing second floor living. We've got a lot of apartments downtown that are not being utilized because of the condition of them, bad roofs and whatever. So we're hoping that this will continue to change our downtown and clean it up quite a bit. So it was announced today. I got the notice from Chris Patrick.
Well, that's wonderful. Chris has done a good job.
Yep, she has done a good job, which is kind of a piggyback on that. The CSMID, which is the downtown SMID people. I guess it's not CSMID, it's SMID. CSMID's the corridor SMID program, but that's out on 5th South.
Okay.
The SMID program downtown is up for renewal. I think they come up every 10 years, and I think in March of 22 they have to do a vote again.
The SMID is with 2 S's, right?
Yeah.
Self-supporting.
Yeah. They have an extra tax that they pay voluntarily. I think it's $1 per 1,000, and that goes into improvements in the downtown area. They've utilized that money to help with the corridor, do a lot of this, work downtown you're seeing done. That's CSMID money, or the SMID money, not the CSMID. I get mixed up because CSMID was brought up because of
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're usually sharp as a tack.
Well, CSMID.
I depend on you and Ferrick to straighten out.
Well, CSMID was brought up because of the birds, the little scooters. The CSMID and the downtown people do not want those in those areas anymore.
What do you call them birds for?
That's what they are. They're called birds. The scooters, it's the company that has them in town.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So the company has it, and I see them laying all over town.
Yeah,
how does that go? I should have asked somebody.
Yeah, you should ask David. David loves those things for some reason.
So he hates them, right?
No, he loves them.
Okay, he hates them. So what? Do people rent them at a central place?
Apparently, you have to be 18, I believe, and you have to have a credit card. And you use them for so long, and then when the battery runs out or your time runs out, you supposedly drop them, and then somebody comes by and picks them up and recharges them and puts them out at designated locations around the community.
Where would that be? I've never seen a designated location, but I've seen a lot of those little scooters.
Yeah, I've seen.
How does anybody know where to go get them if the battery is expired?
You walk by and look at them. I don't know how they do it. The lady that took it over apparently isn't doing it anymore.
Okay.
And so they brought in a couple of company managers, district managers or something, to kind of take it over until they find somebody else. And it's a lot of work because I think they started with 40, but I think they're up to 75.
Those little
scooters. And I said the only people I've seen on them have been kids. I haven't seen anybody else on them.
What did we call those when we were kids? Those little,
I don't know, scooters.
Scooters.
That's what I call them.
But scooters is good enough, but I thought they had another name way back in the day.
They're a pain in the neck, is what I call them.
Why are they a pain?
Well, they're put on sidewalks. People are going to trip over them. They're unsightly. They're, I was driving through a parking lot the other day, and there's one stuck back in the Walmart corner of a parking lot. Supposedly they have GPS locators on them, but when you got 75 of them, you can spend all day just trying to find out where your inventory is. So
that's a possibility.
Yeah,
but
they're a mess. I mean, it was probably one of the worst decisions we got in the last year.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. I don't know. I mean, young people zip all over this town on those things.
I haven't seen anybody on them except for.
I have.
Well, it's different.
See, that's
I go to bed earlier.
You live out in that elite neighborhood, gated community, and you don't see them.
I live out by the hospital.
I live over here by North Junior High, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, you're in the high income area compared to mine.
Oh, really? Come around my house about 9 o'clock tonight. We'll sit on the front step. We'll see all the high class, high income people cruising by.
Do I have to come packing?
Yes, you probably should.
Probably should in your neighborhood. But anyway, the birds are probably going to see some discussion. There's been a little bit of talk on my Facebook pages that I follow. The numerous people that I stalk. I stalk.
You stalk people?
Yeah, I stalk.
You internet stalk. You social media stalk.
Only if my internet's working, which is another problem.
There's another. Not surprisingly, I've met a lot of black people here in town in my time in Fort Dodge. This is my hometown now. I grew up in Algona, of course, but I've known some adult young black people now who are actually they're in their 40s, I guess. But the point is, I knew them since they were kids. And I invited a young man over to my house the other day, and I guess it's been a couple of years ago. And he looked around and he said, "Damn, you do live in the hood."
Yeah, well, you definitely moved into a nice name. You got a good deal on your house, though. I remember that.
I got a good deal.
City cut you a deal.
Well, they wanted to get rid of it really bad. Vicky over there at the business affairs office, and I think other people, those places weren't going like hotcakes, as I recall. Maybe it's because of the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the problem is we look for low and moderate income housing, but when the city puts something in the middle of a neighborhood that nobody wants to live in, nobody wants to live there. So even though it's affordable, it's just tough. And we're debating that now with the Newton prison homes. I've been kind of pushing to
Newton prison homes.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
We have?
Yeah. Newton prison builds homes.
Yeah, the little houses.
They're not little. They're two-bedroom for about $75,000, and our 3 bedrooms about $90,000. And they'll come in and set it on a slab or on a basement. So the city's responsibility would be to provide a basement, the hookups, probably some cement work, driveway, sidewalk, and whatever. So we could theoretically put in a model home, call it that, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for probably $125,000. And we would have that available for people to walk through, to look at, because it's a potential for people to buy affordable housing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they can't afford the $250,000 house up.
Well, that's what Denny Potts is always talking about over at the Growth Alliance.
Yep.
We have this terrible housing shortage for people who are really middle income to upper income people, or upper middle class, I should say. And I would think in the 75 to 100,000 starter home is where we're really lacking. I mean, there's junk all over town. But,
and that's the problem. We don't have good, attractive housing in the affordable category. I mean, we've got a lot of older housing, but for somebody to move in it, you buy a house for $70,000, you're probably going to have to spend $50,000 to make the house livable. And it's difficult when you've already extended yourself on a $70,000 mortgage to come up with the money to keep it maintained. And that's part of the problem we're running into is, roofs need to be replaced, windows, furnaces, you're stretched to the max with your mortgage payment. You just don't have the money to do it. So that's the problem with a lot of our housing stock is that it's quite old.
Mm-hmm.
We need to bring in some new affordable housing, but according to the contractors, they can't build a house, for $200 a square foot is about the going cost. So you build 1,000 square foot house, these houses out of Newton are 1,200 and 1,400 square feet. That's a $200,000 house according to the stick built, but, using prison labor. They build a good house. They build 8 of them a year down there, and they've been doing this for some time. But if we were to bring in a small group of those, if we could bring in 4 or 6 of them and put them in a neighborhood, it would make an attractive addition to a neighborhood and also provide affordable housing.
That sounds really nice.
I'm working on it.
Are you working on it?
I'm working on it.
All right. Are you getting any more houses bulldozed? Because we got plenty. I asked, who did I ask? I asked David Ferrick the other day about some of the price we're paying for junk.
Yep.
Why can't we? Why can't we just condemn the house?
You hurt feelings that way when you.
No! God, I can't believe you said that.
If we need a house for like 3rd Avenue Northwest, where we're doing the work up there, those houses, they are assessed by an independent appraiser, and they come up with a fee, and then we do 120% of what the assessed value of the house is. And then we also pay relocation costs to the families and also help them find another home. So if you have a $100,000 house, you're going to get $120,000 for your home. But again, it's still your home. And it's kind of frustrating for some of these people that have lived there for a long time to have to move because of a street project.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I mean, it's tough. I'm glad I don't have to get involved in those talks.
Okay. All right. Terry Menke, City Councilman Terry Menke is our guest. He will be known. He will identify as City Council Dude for the purpose of this broadcast. I got to get over to the City Council meeting next time around and ask all of the council members while they're in session if they identify as male or female or really something else, because I think it's in question on a couple of we are broadcasting from the Blue Ribbon Pelham Waters studio. Blue Ribbon Pelham Waters is at 612 South 32nd Street, Fort Dodge. You may contact Blue Ribbon Pelham Waters by calling 576-6481 or online at www.fdwater.com. It's 2:33 and the news is next.
Raising pigs in Iowa creates opportunity for young people and rural communities to build a positive future.
morning and did the rededication of the courthouse. It was a very good ceremony, a good little crowd, probably 40 people. Mr. Singer gave a little bit of history of the building. I think he came to, prepared to do like a 45-minute talk, but after a short, discussion, I think Mr. Campbell and a couple of people got in his ear and said, 2-3 minutes would be fine. So,
well, somebody should have told her beforehand then. I mean, to put together some sort of presentation.
Bob gets a little, he
gets a little windy,
a little wound up sometimes.
What was Bob doing there anyway? I mean, no offense to Bob. Bob's a great guy. I look forward to
former supervisor, and he is a Mason. And so he had a kind of a double connection, and he's a historian.
Bob's a historian. I didn't know that.
Mr. Natty and Bob, and Mr. Natty's been doing it a long time, but Bob has done a lot of talks. I think he talks to the leadership class every year about the history.
Speaking of long-winded individuals in leadership classes, I always used to follow you, and I was always supposed to come on around 2:00, and by 2:00. You were still going, and even to 2:45, and you'd even point out, to me that you were going too far into the whole crowd, because you were talking about something really important, service clubs, which I mean, that volunteerism through service clubs.
Yeah, but we also,
as you can see, where service clubs are now, so the impact that you had is enormous.
We used to give door prizes away, which is something
you talked for over an hour. I got maybe 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, but we kept giving door prizes, and people like door prizes.
We kept giving. You kept giving.
Okay, me.
And you'd give things like eyeglass cases or something.
No, that's not true. We gave Templeton Rye bourbon.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you would have paid more attention.
I probably would have.
No, we've actually. We gave away some very nice prizes, and people, I think, had a good time.
That's no damned excuse. You did it to irritate people. You were irritating Terry at the time.
You in particular. There's probably people who think I'm irritating them right now and wish I'd move on.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of a couple different things, Country Jam was Saturday, went very well. A lot of people downtown.
I caught the last part of it.
Did you?
Yep.
Sounded like they were having a good time. I could hear them from my house. I did want to mention this Saturday at 1 to 3 at Iowa Central. Helen and Ed Miller's art collection will be up for auction. This Saturday, 1 to 3. It's posted online. I think Helen has pictures of what's available. The Pleasant Valley Awareness Group has pictures posted. Coppin Chapel is going to be a recipient, and Second Baptist Church. Those are going to, and NAACP. Those are going to be the 4 organizations that will benefit from this art auction. So if you want to come and bid on some artwork, Sherry's still working on how this is going to happen, silent or live.
I should bring her here on the air.
You should bring her in. Yeah, you should bring her in and let her talk.
All right.
Maybe you can get Helen in too. She bounces all over the place.
There's a deal. Yeah. I might still have her cell phone number. I don't know.
Yeah, she should be around. She's going to be here Saturday, so she'll be around sometime this week. And the other thing I wanted to let people know so you can get it on your calendar is November 9th at 11 o'clock, Floyd of Rosedale will be dedicated.
Floyd.
Yep. Gary Dolphin's coming up, the voice of the Hawkeyes. Governor Branstad will be there.
Governor Branstad? You mean former Governor Branstad?
Right, they call him governor.
Okay, this what you mean Terry Branstad. You don't mean Terry Governor Reynolds.
No.
Okay, former governor.
Governor Reynolds and the governor from Minnesota, whoever that is.
The governor from Minnesota.
They're the ones that
Jesse the Body Ventura.
That would I go see. You never can tell what's going to happen with Minnesota politicians.
They're always looking down on us. Jesse the Body, when he was governor, took a couple of shots at Iowa.
Yeah. Well,
we don't want to be like Iowa. Yeah, we don't want to be like Minnesota either with you big goon.
Well, Randy Kuhlman said that Adam Gregg, our lieutenant governor, will be there. So I'm hoping that Kim Reynolds and the governor from Minnesota will show up. And then the Iowa pork producers will be there serving lunch after the ceremony.
Greg and his crowd?
Yep. And if it rains, then they're going to do it out at Iowa Central, out at the East Campus, the old Smithway building. So Iowa Public TV will actually be there. This is the day or two before the Iowa-Minnesota game.
Mm-hmm.
So Floyd's looking good. He's changing color. He's getting back to his normal state. They're working on the lighting. We're trying to get the artist here because you wouldn't want to put a light up without the artist having his input,
It's a strange coincidence. I've had David Osterberg on the air with me for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
He is a professor down at Mount Vernon at Cornell and a part-time professor at the University of Iowa. His next-door neighbor is an artist, and his next-door neighbor built Floyd of Rosedale.
Oh, Dale Merrill.
Yep. That's him.
Nice guy. I met him and his kid. They came up for the installation.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice. I mean, we met with him when he did the original design work. We picked him of a group of about 5 different people as the closest rendition of what we wanted. And he knocked it out of the park. You know, if you've been out there, just look at the construction and the layers of steel. He's done a great job on it.
He has, yeah.
And
Dave Flattery, your co-councilman, he will be here later this afternoon.
Oh, that's good. You got him out of his office?
Yeah, I did. But I've said this several times where when Dave started talking about this, I thought he was crazy. I told him to his face on the air.
As an Iowa State grad,
Yeah, and I was but you're going to put a giant pig on the east or the east side of town. Yeah, we're going to put a big pig out there.
Yep, and it worked. I think it worked. It's a great project for the city. It's going to be great recognition. RAGBRAI coming through right after we got it set was really good. I think a lot of people enjoyed seeing it, and a lot of pictures were taken. So
I was afraid it was going to show up on a Jimmy Kimmel show or something. So you could make sarcastic.
You know what they say is any press is good press. So isn't that what they say?
Well, Jon Stewart, when Joni Ernst was still running, was first running for the Senate, had a little fun with Joni.
Yeah, was it her plastic bags?
Well, she was going to make him squeal and castrate him and all these things.
Squeal like a pig.
Like a pig.
Yeah. So anyway, those are some upcoming events. Again, the Floyd thing will be November 9th, and I think that's going to be good. And then the auction will be this Saturday from 1 to 3 at Iowa Central. So we invite you out for that. Coming up, if you travel up and down 10th Avenue North on Tuesday, October 12th at the senior high, they will be doing a discussion, kind of a come and go, showing what the project's going to be. They're going to redo 10th Avenue North between 24th and 29th. They're going to replace all the roadway pavement, all the driveways, all the sidewalk crossings at the intersections.
They are.
And all the utilities, the water, the sewer, and the storm sewers. So they're going to have engineers will be there from McClure, and they'll have the diagrams and kind of show, because that is a heavily trafficked road out there, and they'll give you a time frame as far as when they can expect that to be, taken apart and put back together. Fifth Avenue South, they continue to work on that with the stormwater. That stormwater work was actually to prevent the flooding up on the roundabout on 12th Street, and that's down now by the middle school. They're working down there, and the pipes are done, and the Highway 20 is back open again. They opened that up last week to 1 lane, so that's progressing. So there's a lot of work being done. This time of the year, they're kind of wrapping up all the projects. They're trying to get as much done as they can before the weather changes.
I've been thinking about it, and I definitely would have rather heard Nikki Conrad's speech than Bob's. And I didn't hear Bob's either.
Bob did a good job.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, Bob's he's entertaining.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'd say he is.
Yeah, he has a lot of fun.
When Bob is a supervisor, the supervisors would put the program up on their big screen that they have there.
So you could read it?
Well, so they could laugh at Bob.
Oh. Bob's son's an ophthalmologist, David.
David is. Well, he has a son who is a physician as well, Jimmy, who was in my son's class.
Yeah, well, that could be. But
gosh, all those brains coming out of Singer?
No, it's out of his wife, his lovely
Barb.
wife. Yeah.
Is it Barb?
I don't think it's Barb.
Jean.
I don't know. Jean. I don't think. Jean Christensen. That's Bob's. Let's see now. That's Bob's brother-in-law, Jack Christensen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's Jack doing these days?
He's sitting around the house. He's probably, what time is it? Almost 3. He's probably just getting out of bed. He doesn't move very fast,
Did he keep his weight off? He lost a bunch of weight. He was a pretty heavy set guy.
We don't like to talk about weight at our advanced age, so I don't know if I wouldn't say that he's kept it all off.
That's probably true. I've got, I never have anything to talk about if you put weight on.
Yeah. He was on Nordic Track. I remember he
wouldn't. He was. He really.
He was faithful. He was.
And he looked great.
He was on that for hours.
Yeah.
Just literally hours a day. And he wouldn't take a phone call. If you knocked on his door, he wouldn't answer the door. He was there for one purpose. That was to stay on Motor Track.
Good for him.
I don't know if he wore it out, got tired of it, or Jean told him to get a life, or what happened. But,
person does get a little older.
Well,
now, is Jean Bob's sister, or did they marry sisters?
They're married sisters.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Bob's family other than Bob. So
Bob came from Boone.
Well,
that's it. He graduated from Iowa State. And he's Bob. That's what I know.
Bob.
That's really all I need to know about him.
Bob was one of the first people I met when I moved here in the early 80s, because he was selling insurance back then.
Sure.
And I always remember he had his office down in the Wakanza area on 9th Street, I think it was 9th or 10th.
Oh, he
On
did.
the side building, yeah. And he was on the school board way back when. And I remember he told me one time, he said, if you ever think you're any reason that you think you want to get into political office, he said, you talk to me first. And he said, I'll tell you why you shouldn't. Yeah, that was 40 some odd years ago when he was on the school board. So.
When he was, well, it would make sense there.
No, they shut down all the elementary schools back then.
That's right. June Gabler was in town. Yeah, and everybody. She changed the name of North and South Junior High to silly names because she wanted to remove the stigma or whatever. Yeah, people hated her guts, but she was brought in for a reason to close those schools, and she was a short-term person. She was apparently up here because her husband was writing a book. Why can't I get a wife like that? I'd like to write a book, dear. Take a job for 5-10 years. You can come home and you can see me here at the table writing and typing. Oh yeah, that's me
all day long.
God, I wonder whatever happened to her.
I don't know. I tangled with her one time. That was enough. But anyway.
Oh, you did? Did you get beat up a little bit?
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah.
I was over at the rock station, KKZ at the time. And it was revealed her salary was $60,000. Now this was in the 80s, and of course, radio people have to have something to talk about. So I made a crack on the air. $60,000, boy, you could really tell who's making the money in this town. She called the radio station to complain. How do I know how much she's worth? I mean, oh God, get on.
We had a little situation where we were helping some of the girls that were in the alternative school. They wanted to attend prom. And so our service club offered to get them dresses, have their hair done, get them flowers, get them to prom because they're still part of the school system. Well, she refused to let them go to the prom because she said they were not part of the senior high, and they didn't. And you talk about a bunch of crushed girls. I mean, we had about 10.
That is such.
That was terrible.
That's why people loved her so much.
She was very adamant that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, I did.
The school board let her get away with it too at that time. They could have reined her in, but they didn't. There were a lot of stories about her like that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she had her good points too. We hired her. We obviously saw some good in her, but
you hired a hatchet woman.
I didn't hire her. It wasn't my problem.
Well, you said we. Well, who are you referring to?
The citizens of Fort Dodge.
Are you a citizen of Fort Dodge?
Yes, I am.
Were you in the 1980s?
Yes, I was.
Well, then that's we. All of a sudden, you don't want anything to do with it. Oh, not me. I was the one person in town that didn't want to do it.
Well, speaking of schools, Riverside is in my ward, and I've kind of watched that because it's pretty well underutilized right now. The intent, I think, eventually is to dispose of that property too, because the Early Learning Center, which is now on First South over there by my office, actually, and creates a real traffic jam over there a couple times during the day. But Cooper Elementary apparently is finally going to get air conditioning. After how many years, 40 or 50 years?
They don't have air over there?
No, they don't. And they're going to move, apparently, the kids from Cooper over to Riverside, use it as kind of a transitional place where they do the work over at Cooper. And I heard that was going to happen at Christmas break. So
you want to talk about cruel teachers? You should have gone to Catholic school. I'll tell you, those old sisters of the presentation, they were, well, and they seen every time there was some sort of punishment, which was regularly, almost every day. Mass punishment. We were reminded of Jesus suffering on the cross, and weren't we ashamed of ourselves for complaining about this little bit of punishment, like having to stay inside on recess when the day is 95 in the shade because somebody chewed gum. It was that sort of.
So basically, you had it coming.
Yeah, that's right. We should have got the beating too, because Jesus suffered so much. Catholic mothers in those days didn't want to hear the nuns were wrong either. I guarantee you.
Yeah. But in closing, I did want to remind everybody to show up at the forum on Thursday night. You really haven't had a chance to hear from the candidates.
Right. What time is it?
6 o'clock. It's not a personality contest. It's who you think is going to do the best job for you.
Thank you, Terry.
You bet.
This is AM 1400 KBFD.
This is Mike from United Bank of Iowa. It's time to work hard, bank smart, and look good. Right
COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for just $49.99 Thursday, October 21st at the Best Western Starlight Hotel in Fort Dodge. Weight loss seminars 5:30 till 7. Stop smoking seminar starts at 8.
Divine Intervention is online at yourfortdodge.com, on Twitter at JMike1400.
That's right. That's where we're at. It's 10 minutes after 3, and joining us from the Iowa State University Extension Service is Lindsay Kavanaugh. How you doing, Lindsay?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Long time no see. You've been avoiding me. You've been avoiding me. Don't avoid me. There's too many people that avoid me already. Like my family, they're just avoiding me all the time. But anyway, this portion of the program brought to you by the Webster County pork producers, and all the pork producers, I'm sure, are out in the field today, or unless I don't think it's raining. No, I don't think so. But anyway, yeah, Greg Hora busy in the field, as are a lot of farmers, but I think they're getting it done pretty fast due to the excellent harvest conditions. The crops may not be the best because of drought, but no rain this time of year means the combines are burning up the fields. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Lindsay, a little bit about your background. Did you grow up on a farm, or how did you get to the
Yep,
service?
I grew up on a farm just outside of Auburn, and I guess I've been in my role for
Auburn.
Yep. And I guess I've been in my role. Yesterday was my 5th anniversary.
Fifth anniversary.
I didn't realize it until someone told me. So
did you go to Iowa State, or?
Nope, I went to UNI.
UNI.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
that's okay as long as you're in Iowa.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I have a close friend who went to UNI, and I have that flag here, the UNI Panther flag, just for his benefit.
Well, that's very nice of you.
So what's going on at the ISU Extension Service? There's always something going on.
Yeah, well, right now we're staying busy. The new 4-H year is started September 1, so we're getting a lot of enrollments coming in, both returning, and we have lots of new members joining 4-H this year, so we're really excited. We had a great fair last summer, and so we're just ready to start a new 4-H year. And this week, we are celebrating National 4-H Week. So it's always the first full week in October nationwide, and it's just a way to celebrate 4-H and recognize that our 4-H members and our volunteers and the great program. So we have some things going on this week. We're having a countywide scavenger hunt all week. So 4-H members can look for clovers hidden around the county, and they just find them, take a picture with it, and then send them to me, and then they can win a prize. We had T-shirt Tuesday yesterday, where 4-H members could wear their 4-H shirt to school and then share some pictures on Facebook as well. And then today's Wellness Wednesday. We have Thankful Thursday tomorrow, so we encourage our
Thankful Thursday.
Thankful Thursday. So we encourage our 4-H members to write a thank you to their club leader or any volunteer that's really helped make an impact on their life. And then Friday, we have Friend Friday. So we just encourage 4-H members to tell their friends about 4-H, invite them to a club meeting, and just kind of help spread the word about it. So
you don't have to live on a farm to belong to 4-H.
You do not. Nope. I think people still think that, but nope, you can live in town, farm, wherever. So we have.
Well, you'd have to be kind of an old coot like me to remember. I think it was restricted to farm kids, or maybe it wasn't. I know the farm kids. There were a lot more farm kids when I was in school many years ago. By the way, do you happen to know if they still have the FFA in high schools, Future Farmers of America?
They do. I know Southeast Valley has their program, and then Manson, and then Humboldt. And I thought Fort Dodge was in the process of getting one, but I'm not exactly sure. But yep, they still do have FFA. A
lot of kids took that when I was in school, and they all benefited. You know, a lot of them became farmers.
Yep.
Surprisingly.
Yep. Exactly.
So it was. It sounded like a good thing.
Yeah. Yep. It definitely is. So, but no, we're just been busy and kind of starting to plan things for the year. The Webster County Fair Board already scheduled the dates for the 2022 fair.
And that is?
It is July 12th through the 17th.
Okay.
So we have they have a fair planning committee who meets every month, and they're always looking for volunteers.
Fair planning committee?
Yes. So they
Okay.
just meet once a month and discuss, different entertainment and food vendors and just different ideas to bring to the fair. So it kind of everyone's involved and help make it a successful fair.
All right.
So,
All right.
yeah.
I was at the fair,
Were you?
at the fairgrounds just
Mhm.
last weekend. I mentioned it to you off mic that the 2021 Figure Eight Nationals
Mhm.
were out
Yeah.
there. And great race, a lot of great drivers, a
Yeah.
lot of great local drivers.
Yep.
My son had a friend in the school by the name of Merle Porter. Merle's probably 39, 40 years old by now, but he really had a couple of good races out there.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
and I don't want to shine the light just on him. There's a lot of great
Mhm.
races out there, and there was great attendance, and
Good.
the rain stayed away, and
Mhm.
I of course got lost because they moved the racetrack on me, and I'm wondering where's the racetrack.
Yeah. Yeah, they've put a lot of hard work in this past year, kind of reorganizing everything, and it's really looking nice. So
Oh,
they've
I
done
bet
a good
it is.
job.
I
Yep.
bet it is.
Yep. A lot of time put into that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a specialty at the Extension Service?
Well, mainly my job is just 4-H and then working
Just 4-H,
with the
period.
youth too. Yeah.
Working with the youth.
Yep. We try to do some programs within the school as well.
Excellent.
And then I partner with, Iowa Central in the summer. We did some camps last summer, or a camp, and then just however we can be involved with the youth in Webster County.
That's great. Do you have children of your own? Or?
I do. Yep. I have two
kids?
kiddos. Yep.
Are they old enough to take part, or?
My son this is his first year in 4-H, so he's finally old enough. So yeah.
Were you in 4-H when you were young?
I was not.
You were
No,
not?
Nope.
Were you a
but-
townie? Were you a town kid?
No, I grew up on a farm,
Grew up on a
but I
farm.
don't even know why I wasn't. So, but I believe in it so much. So now I just try to tell everyone about it, encourage them to join.
Yeah. Gosh, I would think so. There's so many different things.
Mhm.
That's what that was. We call it life skills now, but 4-H and some of those programs were great
Mhm.
life schools programs.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yep.
When
And-
I was at school, it became popular for boys to take home economics,
Mm-hmm.
which was long overdue. Because I'll tell you, when I got on my own, the only thing I could figure out to have for breakfast was boiled hot dogs, which I
For
was,
breakfast?
Right, yeah, it was disgusting. I know it was disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But I learned.
Yeah. Yep. So, and we always tell everyone there's something for everyone. And right now, our shooting sports program has really taken off. It's becoming really popular. So we have rifle discipline, shotgun
Oh,
discipline.
you do? That's
and-
wonderful.
And archery. Yeah. So, and we just had 12 of our 4-H members compete down in Southern Iowa over the summer. So it was
Archers,
just-
you said?
Yep. Archery, rifle discipline, and shotgun discipline.
Okay.
And muzzle loader, I guess. So yeah, so that's becoming really popular, and they seem to get really excited about that. So
Again, a basic skill that's just terrific.
Yes.
Just we still use rifles and shotguns and
Mhm.
handguns as tools out here
yep,
in farm country.
Yep.
And
and just learn the safety features, and our leaders do a really, really good job with them. So,
I believe that. I
yeah.
believe that. I
Yep.
think I don't think I think I had some sort of gun safety class, but really I remember my military training. I remember the sergeant came out with a rifle and an M16. He said, "This is not a toy. The only thing this thing does, it has one purpose, and that's to kill.
Mhm.
So you better be careful with it, because if you
Mhm.
shoot me, you're in trouble." Or words to that effect. I don't know. I don't know what.
yeah,
But that always stuck with me when my son got old enough, and
Mhm.
he wanted to go pheasant hunting. That's the first thing I told him: you be very careful
Yep.
with this weapon. I mean, I love pheasant hunting. I don't do it
Mhm.
much anymore because I can't walk the fields like I used
yeah,
to. But
yeah,
I think there's fewer farmers that are willing to have guys on their
Mhm.
field anymore.
yeah. So yeah, that, and then just other basic skills we partner with the Webster County Conservation and have outdoor adventure, which is awesome. It teaches them. They've gone hiking. They cover outdoor survival skills. They've gone ice fishing, cross country skiing, and that was even my first time doing a bunch of those too. I joined the 4-H members and learned myself. So just all sorts of opportunities that they can participate in.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you? What do you? Are there some of these activities that you go out on, or?
When I can. I mean, we have things going on all the time, so I try to make it when I can, but otherwise we have amazing volunteers and leaders that kind of put them in charge. So, but I did participate in the cross country skiing and ice fishing the
You
first year
did?
they did it. Yes. And
Wow.
it was a really fun time. So, but
Well, you're pretty tough if you got out there and did that.
I definitely wasn't dressed warm enough for the ice fishing, but it was a learning lesson for me for next time. So,
Well, that cross country skiing, that's fun, but
Yeah.
it can wear you out.
yeah, it was a good workout. So, and we have
I bet
amazing
it was.
locations around here to participate in those types of activities. So,
Okay. Lindsay
Yeah.
Kavanaugh is our guest. He's with the ISU Extension Service. You gave us a bunch of things that are happening here real quickly, and I should have written some of them down. What's happening this week? Let's go through it again here. Maybe what's happening
so
this
National 4-H Week.
National 4-H Week.
Yep, we have a countywide scavenger hunt for 4-H members to participate in.
And how do people enroll, so to speak, for these events?
So to enroll in 4-H, it's all done online. So we have a link that's on our website, or we have flyers around that has a link on there, and they just sign up and enroll. And membership is free until December 1st, thanks to our Webster County 4-H donors and our 4-H Foundation donors, and New Co-op. They provide assistance to pay for their membership fee. And then, everything else is online. They just select the projects that they want and which club they want to join. And it's pretty simple.
It's quite a thing that happened at New Co-op, wasn't it?
Yeah. Definitely crazy. So-
I guess it's ongoing. I don't know. I just don't know about any of those things.
Yeah.
You say the fair board is always looking for volunteers.
Yep, they have a fair planning committee, which they just mainly focus on the entertainment and the planning
Mhm.
side of things for just the fair.
Mhm.
So anyone's always welcome to join. And then the fair board, obviously, they take care of different events throughout the year, like the races and other other events that they can be involved
Sure,
in. So
Sure.
yeah.
Who
So-
appoints the fair board? Do the supervisors appoint the fair board, or how does that go?
Nope, they just have Corey Krug is the fair board president, and then there's other members as well. I think they have about 10 or 11 members. So
Okay,
but-
from all over the county, I
Yeah,
suppose.
Yep.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So-
We've always had pretty good Webster County fairs. I didn't know if we had
Mhm.
entertainment out there this year or not.
Yeah, they had different races. They had helicopter rides.
They did, didn't they?
They did.
I was talking.
yes.
Sometimes they bring out a country singer. I like to go to those.
Yeah,
types of
they
things.
had Jessica McClintock.
Oh, they did this year.
the night of the sweet corn feed, I believe, that Saturday night. So
Okay.
they always had the free sweet corn feed and watermelon feed and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, but that's
Are
what
those
they're.
Farm Bureau things or are those fair things?
Yep, sweet corn feed and watermelon feed are both Farm Bureau. So we're
Mhm.
always thankful for their support. And then they put on the pedal tractor pole as well.
Oh, the
which is
tractor
always really
pole.
fun. Yep.
I always
Yep.
like those too.
Yeah, my kids always enjoyed that too, but we missed it this year, so that's always a lot of fun for the kids.
It is.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yes.
Just in general.
Yeah.
I always liked them. Yeah, I know a couple of farmers used to do that years ago, but
hmm
they got too old.
So,
Well, all right. Lindsay Kavanaugh is our guest from the Iowa State Extension Service. And is there anything else you can tell us about what's going on at Iowa State?
just
Extension
busy with new and returning members joining, and we're just kind of planning a lot of fun for the year. And we're always looking for members. And if anyone ever wants to volunteer, become a leader, they can contact me at the extension office.
And that number would be
576-2119.
all right, and that's on the webpage. I'm
Yes. Yep. And we have an extension Facebook page, and then we also have a Webster County 4-H Facebook page. So you're always welcome to follow us and see what's going on. And this week we're featuring senior 4-H members and county council members each day. So it's
sure.
kind of
Did you say senior 4-H? member?
yes.
And that means what?
Well, 4-H members that are in their senior year.
Okay.
So yep. So we have,
senior year in school.
yes.
All right.
We have senior 4-H members, which is 9th through 12th grade. But this week I'm featuring just those that are going to graduate in the spring.
Okay.
So have a different one each day of the week for National 4-H Week, and just kind of share why they like 4-H. So
Shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Give us the number
So-
again if you'd like to volunteer or
576-2119.
2119.
Or they can just call me or shoot me an email or message me on Facebook.
All right. Lindsay Kavanaugh, thank you for being
All
with
right.
us.
Thank you.
All right, this is AM 1400 KBFD, the voice of Fort Dodge. I want to remind everyone that the Iowa Hall of Fame and Racing Museum's third annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony is coming up Saturday the 13th, social hour at 5 with dinner and a ceremony to follow. That's coming up the Briggs Woods Conference Center. Briggs Woods is at 2501 Briggs Woods Trail in Webster City. Tickets can be purchased by contacting Teresa Huffman at 515-835-2620 or Nancy Pringle at 515-570-9209 or by visiting the website www.iowaracingmuseum.com. Gene Schatzschneider, the late Gene Schatzschneider, will be inducted. I watched him race many years, as well as others such as Mark Bacon, Morris Beetle Bailey, Al DiCarlo, Ray Gus Jr., Don Hoffman, Jack Houseby, Mel Kenyon, Wayne Larson, Dean Malone, Marty Pringle, another outstanding choice for the Hall of Fame, Stacy Redmond, Bill Rice, Larry Schultz, Keith Simmons, John Sloan, and Mike Smith. Don't forget the Iowa Hall of Fame and Racing Museum's third annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Saturday the 13th. And all that you have to do is to find out more is go to www.iowaracingmuseum.com. This is AM 1400 KBFD, the voice of Fort Dodge.
You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Farmers who invest in the Iowa Corn Checkoff
Supply. We've served millions of American families going on 14 years. At MyPatriotSupply.com, our mission is your survival. Our emergency food could definitely be your lifesaver when the peanut butter hits the fan. Choose from dozens of delicious meal kits that provide over 2,000 calories a day, which is what your body needs. Order today and your food will ship fast in unmarked boxes to protect your privacy. Don't wait. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Michael Devine with breaking news and stimulating talk.
That's right. We're going to stimulate you right here today, Dave Flattery and myself. We are broadcasting from the Blue Ribbon Pelham Motors studio at 612 South 32nd Street here in Fort Dodge. You may contact Blue Ribbon Pelham Motors by calling 515-576-6481 or online at www.ftwater.com. Do you patronize Blue Ribbon Pelham Waters, Dave?
Sure do.
Good man.
Drink the water every day, along with I also do Rosedale water as well. So yeah, they're both good waters.
All right,
good companies. Yeah.
Now I still ask myself, water.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Yeah, we pay for water.
Really, I can't go back to tap water now. I did notice that.
Me too.
I got to buy the water, and it's
that's right.
All right, Dave Flattery is a city councilman here in Fort Dodge, and he was the driving force behind Floyd of Rosedale, which is a statue of a pig out on the east side of town. But I say that, and I don't mean to diminish that at all. It's an impressive sculpture. It really is. It turned out great. I don't know where you got your sculptor down there. I know where he lives in Mount Vernon, but he did a fantastic job.
He really
Very
did.
impressive.
Well, we 2 years ago we sent out an RFP and requesting, to artists all over the world essentially. And if you recall, that's about the same time that the grain silos was being completed with the artists from Australia. So we're kind of following in the footsteps there with the request for a proposal, and we received 3 artists at the time, narrowed it down to 3, and without question, Dale Merrill, in our opinion, was the best artist, had the best rendering, had the best story, the best look, and so we chose him. And I tell you, we have been impressed with him since day one. Randy Coleman and I, who also was part of our committee, went to Mount Vernon, and we inspected Floyd, and we walked into his shop, and we were just shocked how big he was, and how impressive it was. And we weren't disappointed when Floyd ended up arriving in Fort Dodge, and we've had a lot of compliments about him, and he is proud to be here in Fort Dodge, and we're proud to have him here with us.
Well, it's not necessarily the pig or the hog or even the sculptures. You said it a little earlier before we went on the air. It's the story behind Floyd.
It's a legacy.
It is. It's a wonderful story, and it's been my pleasure to repeat it around our state and on the air. And as I told you, David Osterberg, who's been on this radio station for many, many years, lives in Mount Vernon, and he just happened to be the next door neighbor of Dale. Is that his
Dale Merrill?
Dale Merrill, and watched the whole thing take shape. And my hat's off to Mr. Merrill, and way to go in choosing him, by the way. That's terrific.
And how he put that together, I would have it messed up day one. And he had the patience.
We don't have his ability.
Yeah, his welding ability, his vision, and we're lucky we chose right, and we ended up with a good product.
Yeah,
and the legacy. So right now what's missing is there will be a story plate that the information board that will tell the story. Yeah. People drive by around, that's Floyd of Rosedale, but you really the intent of this structure is to tell the story of Floyd of Rosedale, which has that racial element to it, but it was resolved by 2 governors with a pig.
That's right.
I mean, it's got resolved, and the end result is it's now arguably the most popular traveling trophy in Division I college football in the country.
Maybe we should tell the story real quick. Way back in the mid-1930s, Minnesota and Iowa had a rivalry, and Minnesota was a pretty strong team.
I think they'd won 4 or 5 national championships in a row.
Yeah. And they do you want to tell the story?
You're doing fine.
Minnesota and Iowa played a game, and Iowa had a African-American player. What was his name?
Simmons was
Ozzie Simmons, and the Iowa players believed that the Minnesota players were treating Ozzie Simmons pretty rough, and they believed further that it was racist for them to do the things that they were doing. I don't think there's ever been a real description of what happened to Ozzie Simmons.
No, I don't think there was either.
But the Iowa players loudly complained about racism and this is in the mid 1930s, by the way. The Minnesota players or the Minnesota team have always denied that. I think they deny it to this day. But anyway, to resolve the issue, because there was going to be a game the next year, the governor of Iowa and the governor of Minnesota, and they are who, Dave? I should let you do this.
Floyd B. Olson, who is the governor of Minnesota.
Floyd B. Olson.
And the Iowa governor, that name escapes me right now. I'm having a senior moment.
Yeah, I know it. You know, Floyd B. Olson sounds like a name of some guy who lives in Minnesota.
Yeah. It'll come to me. But
anyway, they decided to take a little of the stress off the game and make a bet. And I think Governor Olson put up what? What did he put up for?
Well, the wager was a live piece of pork.
Okay. Well, yeah, the governor of Iowa put up, well, he turned to his friend Al Loomis.
Right.
And, of course, that was the Loomis Farm area out there. Loomis Farms. And,
it was the Rosedale Farms.
Or Rosedale.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're doing fine.
But it was Loomis's own Rosedale Farms, didn't they?
Loomis's owned the Rosedale Farm, which provided the creamery for the downtown, the creamery downtown.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. When it was down over on Central Avenue, clear over on Central Avenue. Anyway, yeah, they put up. Floyd Olson didn't put up a hog; he put up something else. But,
no, I could be wrong, but I think what the wager was, whoever lost the game would have to present a live piece of pork to the winning governor.
All right.
And so naturally, Iowa lost. That's coming from a Cyclone fan, and I've got to reiterate every time that I'm still diehard Iowa State fan. But
Clyde Herrig was Iowa's governor.
Herrig, that's it. Clyde Herrig.
No,
you got that.
See, my faithful listener there. Do you see that?
I'm trying to still.
All right. Are you getting old on me over there? You can't see very well.
Hey, thanks. You got one listener. One faithful listener.
Well, two. My mom listens.
Yeah.
My mom listens.
So Iowa lost, and so the governor, Clyde Herrig, and Al Loomis walked it up into the State House, the live piece of the
into
pig,
the Minnesota State House,
and they named him Floyd after the Rosedale Farm and Olson, Floyd of Rosedale, Floyd B. Olson and the Rosedale Farm. So that's the Floyd of Rosedale.
Okay.
And
so they named him after the governor.
Yeah, and I think he only lived about 6 months or 7 months after that because everybody thought he was vaccinated, and he wasn't. So, in at times of vaccinations and racism, we talk about Floyd Rosedale wasn't vaccinated, and it was a racist thing.
Racist thing, yeah. Well, the big difference, of course, is nobody burned down buildings or houses or
interestingly
rocks
enough,
at police officers.
I seen an interview shortly before Ozzie Simmons died. I think it was in the 90s or even the early 2000s. He never acknowledged that he was mistreated.
Really?
Yeah. He never laid claim to that. I think that's the way he was. He was just that kind of guy. And another article I read, Ronald Reagan broadcast that game for WHO.
Oh, did he?
And he claimed that Ozzie Simmons was the best running back that he had ever seen. And Ozzie Simmons later became, I think, a second-team All-American running back for the Hawkeyes back in 35 or 36 or whatever. So
was Ozzie Simmons from Iowa or from?
No, he was from Texas. I believe.
Texas.
Yeah, okay. I think similar story to Jack Trice. I think Jack Trice was from Texas as well. That was in the same era. The same era as well.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, it's a good project. Still got a little more work to do to it, but it'll last for hopefully forever.
I hope so.
And just to let your listeners know, it will rust. It's made of quarantine steel, and if you drive by it now, it is starting to rust. And the reason for that is you don't have to maintain it. You don't have to go out and scrub it and wash it and all that kind of stuff. You just it rusts by its very nature. So
all right. Good afternoon. You're on the air at AM 1400 KBFD.
This is Big Ed from Georgia. How you doing, Michael Devine?
Big Ed, how are you? I haven't heard from you in so long. What have you been doing, man?
Well, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, I guess. But I said, I asked Don, and he said he didn't hear you on there. And I thought, well, maybe you'd taken a break or whatever. How's everything going for you?
Well, early this year, I took 3-4 months off because I got sick with COVID.
Bless your heart, man, alive.
I was a sick one. I was in the hospital on oxygen. There's no doubt about it. So I'll tell you, Ed, I got vaccinated. I don't want to be screwing around with it.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You're okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
I got my shot too a while back. I wasn't going to, but the doctor said being 75 years old, you need it.
That's right. Well, if you're 75, you weren't at the January 6th thing in Washington, were you?
No. No, but I'll tell you one thing. We're in a mess. We got somebody don't even know where he's at. I mean, like lost like a ball in high weeds.
Yeah, lost like a ball. I haven't heard that in a long time. Back in my neighborhood pickup baseball games, I lost like a ball in high weeds. I forgot about that.
Well, man, I'm telling you, it just hit me. I said, I was listening, and Joe don't know where he is. They were talking about it on the 5. And I said, I'm going to see if Michael Devine's still on the air or if he retired.
Tell you what, Ed, do me a favor. I want you to do this because I got City Councilman Dave Flattery here, who's a kindred spirit, I guess. Nevin, of course, Nevin. You've met Nevin Mulholland. Nevin's a great guy, but he's a liberal. I don't know what happened to him.
I hear you.
I don't know where he went wrong, but he went wrong big time. But if you'll give me a call back at 1:00 tomorrow, that would be great. 1:00 Central Time. Are you in Georgia or where are you at?
Yes, sir. I'm in Georgia.
All right.
I will. 1:00 tomorrow.
My time now up here.
Your time. That'd be 2:00 my time.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Thank you, sir, and all the best to you, and all the best to all those Iowans. Every one of them smarter than Beijing.
I think you're probably right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
That's my man right there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, he came in here once when Nevin was.
I remember that
on the air. Yeah.
Very cordial. I remember that.
He was a cordial guy, but
yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he believes there's such a thing as a Democratic Party. It's just communists and socialists.
You might be right. It's getting closer.
We don't want to go down that road. So, the Floyd Rosedale dedication, is this the official dedication? Or?
Yeah, it's the official dedication, and ribbon cutting will be November 9th.
November 9th.
And it'll start at 11 o'clock.
So I get to go this
time. The public is welcome to attend. The pork producers will be serving pork patties and the amenities that go with that. We'll have special guest, Lieutenant Governor
Greg
will be with us. Former Governor Branstad will be with us, and the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin, will be with us.
That'll be really nice.
Yeah,
that'll be really nice.
And of course, the chamber ambassadors and hopefully all our committee members. And then, like I said, the general public is welcome to attend too. So
we're going to close the intersection off out there, I suppose.
We'll see. We'll have to figure out. We're still a month away, and Iowa Public Television is going to be there.
Oh, great!
They're doing a segment on Floyd Rosedale too. They're interviewing us on the story. So again, it's that story, it's that legacy that we want to retain, because most people forget about Floyd Rosedale. First of all,
they would forget about
and that he's from Fort Dodge, which we need to be proud of.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I have again repeated that story with pride that our state, the players on one of our large universities, stood up for their teammate, a black teammate. Way back in the 1930s when it wasn't necessarily popular.
Right.
I mean, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now about poor black people, and I really think that some of those white folks are very insincere.
Well, I'm proud. I'm proud of as a member of the council. I'm proud to say that we had 2 members of the African American community up for city council. One of them got eliminated last night, and one of them remains.
Melvin did, yeah.
And so I think that's bodes well for our community, speaks well for our community that those members of our community, both, female, white, black, feel good about running for representing their areas of the community. So
I got to get a hold of Quinnell here. I thought Zach Newsom was going to run for something, but I guess he didn't.
And then of course, we've got the forum tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right.
And out at Iowa Central.
What time is that?
I think that starts at 6:00.
6.
And so that's open to the public again. And those candidates that are running opposed, and all the candidates for the at-large will be part of that forum. And so I may take this moment, Mike, just to talk about the issues I think that are important to me.
All right, please do so.
Number one, and it's been a problem for a number of years, but it's getting worse. Trying to attract skilled labor, professional labor to this community, and it's universal now. It's all over. We just can't find labor. You go to any business in town, they are starving for skilled labor, and that's Iowa. That's throughout the Midwest. That's throughout the entire United States. Housing will continue to be a problem, but we're finding some solutions to that. We've got investors that are looking to invest in this community and seeing positive things for that. I look at the issues that the new potential council members, they're talking about water bills and housing inspections and things of that nature. That's all important. Don't get me wrong, but I think and you always hit on this, is we've got to think big picture, the greater good of the community. How does our vote affect the greater good of the community? And so water bills and housing inspections is just a part of that. But what I'm looking for in a candidate is the vision that this person brings. How are they making Fort Dodge better instead of bringing their own personal agendas to the council table?
I think there's a couple of personal agendas.
Well, there could be, but we've had that problem in the past.
Oh yeah.
And so, I throw this comment out there all the time. We talk about streets, and Mike, you may not even remember this, but what percentage of our tax dollars go directly towards street improvements?
You've told me, but I don't remember. You're right.
It's zero. Now, indirectly, yes, through the water utility funds, through street improvements, general obligation, but the primary source of revenue for our streets is local option sales tax and what's the other source? Road use tax. And then indirectly, but we do fund it through general obligation. But that's you just can't do that because we have a limit. I think another important issue is the revitalization of the downtown and the riverfront. And those are things we have visions for, but everything is all about financing. How do we come up with the dollars to do that? And so we got to be creative. We got to show the vision for those investors that want to invest in the downtown.
You didn't mention the Warden Plaza.
Well, the Warden Plaza is all part of that. And there are those council members and future council members that want to tear it down. And I've said this before on here, it's our unique buildings, historical buildings, unique architecture that is unique to Fort Dodge and Fort Dodge only.
It's a $30 million tab there, David. That's
to what?
To renovate the Warden Plaza.
Yeah, but you're right. But it's also a $2 to $3 million to tear it down. Wouldn't you rather see that go back into revitalization than to tear it down? And so,
tough call, buddy. I mean, to see it sit there year after year after year.
I know, and I have some thoughts about that I'll share with you privately. What I think what we should do. So, anyway, and I welcome everybody to attend that tomorrow night. It's always good discussion. There's always unique questions that are asked to the candidates, and
you're not going to take part in the forum.
No, I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I will be there and I'll listen.
Sure.
And so I'll find it to be interesting.
Well, we have some fresh blood here, and that's a good thing.
It is good. It is good. Yeah.
We have people we haven't heard from before running, and some of them I've known for quite a long time.
Right.
But anyway, Dave Flattery is a city councilman. Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you, Mike.
This is AM 1400 KBFD.
Mark Patrick Seminars will be in Fort Dodge Thursday, October 21st for one day only.
We all have an image of ourselves, and that image